أوليائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بغيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. May Allah inshallah accept our prayers, our amal, our aza inshallah, and reward us for our presence in this majlis. Recite loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah. Any event and any occasion, anything happen in the history of human being, when we look at the past, we see each occasion, regardless how big they were, had a specific time that people were discussing it and they were talking about it. And after that, gradually, people stopped talking about it because they covered everything around that topic. The recent biggest global things happened that we remember, all of us, was COVID. Impacted the entire world. It was scary. It was big. Million and million people were killed because of this, right? Impacted the entire humanity. How many times do you remember that now? How often do you remember that? No. No media talk about it anymore. No news agencies talk about it anymore. Doctors, no, nothing. How is it possible just 2 years ago, this whole impact of this, there's nothing else to talk about it. It's over, right? How about all those people who were killed? Yeah, but it's over. There's nothing else to talk about. How much you want to talk about it? You can be any story in the human beings. It can be World War II, right? 60 million people were killed in the World War II. There's nothing people talk about it anymore. But we see that what Sayyid al-Shuhada did in Karbala, although it sounded like it's an event between Sayyid al-Shuhada, between Bani Hashim and Bani Umayyah, but we see that up until today, people are talking about it. People are remembering it. People are getting more about it. They're impacted, influenced by that more and more. As we said before, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, we didn't know what is Arba'in walk. Arabs, they had it. Iraqi, they had it. We didn't know about it. The world didn't know that much about it. But today we see that close to 30 million people all around the world, from United States, UK, everywhere they go to Arba'in walk. Rather than people forget about it, they actually are getting more from it and benefit more from it. This is a miracle. This is amazing how this is happening, and people are learning from it every day and are impacted by this. Quran says, كُلُّ شَيْءٍ هَالِكْ إِلَّا وَجْهَهُ. Everything is perishable. It's going to be over, except whatever belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything is for the sake of Allah, would stay in dunya and akhirah. And what Sayyid al-Shuhada did, it was for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why people don't forget about it. It was not between Hussein ibn Ali and Yazid ibn Muawiyah. No, it's so pity to say that. It was between the whole camp of khair, tawheed, in front of the entire camp of shar and kufr. Hussein was a representative of all the khair up until the 61st of Hijri. The path of Nuh, Musa, Isa, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Yazid was not just Yazid, no, he was the representative of kufr, of Namrud, of Fir'aun, of any Abu Sufyan, anybody else that you can imagine. We'll talk about it. So it was a confrontation between two different cultures. The culture of shaitan and the culture of Tawheed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we read it every day. In Ayatul Kursi, Allahu waliyyu alladhina amanu yukhrijuhum min adh-dhulumati ila nur walladhina kafaru awliyahum at-taghut yukhrijunahum min an-nur ila adh-dhulumat. There are two campaigns, there are two sides in this world. Allah, He is the wali, He is the guardian of mu'mineen, take them from darkness to nur. Shaitan is the wali of Yes, Shaitan is the wali. Quran says, Taghut is the wali of those kuffar, mushrikeen, those who are on the side of Shaitan, take them from nur to zulmat, to darkness. So Imam al-Hussein and Yazid are two, exactly representative of these two in front of each other. Because it never gets old. The confrontation of haqq and batil, it's never belonged to a specific period of time or group of people. No, it's always there. From the beginning it was there until there. From the time of Habil and Qabil, it was khair and shar, right? Qabil killed Habil, his brother, khair and shar. All the way until today. You see what's going on around the world. Khair and shar are in front of each other. And it will be until the day of judgment. It's never go away. That's why Ashura is above and beyond that territory and that specific time. That's why people remember that. That's why it's so customizable, putting it this way, for my own life. I can get lessons from Ashura no matter where I'm living, no matter where and when I'm living, what part of the history I'm living in. So Ashura becomes a culture, becomes a maktab, a school of thought. By itself isn't a school of thought that you learn from it. That you ponder upon Ashura. You learn from Ashura. That's why كل يوم عاشوراء وكل أرض كربلاء. No matter when, where, you always see yourself between haqq and batil, and you always see yourself to make the decision. Is it the right decision? Is it the wrong decision? But if you stay with the camp of Sayyid al-Shuhada, he says, إِنِي لَا أَعْلَمُ أَصْحَابًا أَوْفَى وَأَقَرَّ. I've never seen any ashab, any companion better and more loyal than you, my ashab. The entire world, all the Shuhada will be envious towards what? The Shuhada of Karbala. Because of one thing. Because they made a decision. They made a right decision. And we're exactly in the same process. What decision we're making. What lifestyle we're making for ourselves. They were not a bunch of, people who didn't know what to do, and, they didn't have any job or anything, so they're like, what's better than, just being killed for Hussein? Let's go. We don't have anything else to do. No. One of them is Zuhair ibn Ghayl Hilali. Zuhair is Uthmani. He's not even Alawi. He's not even followers of Amir al-Mu'mineen at the moment, before. And he's a businessman. He's a businessman. He has a business. He was coming back from Mecca towards Kufa with his business caravan that he had. There was business coming back. That's why he's like, I don't care about Hussein and Yazid, so it's up to them. I don't want to get involved. This guy is a businessman. This guy is a big name. Habib ibn Mazahir is a big name. Muslim ibn Osaj is a big name. All of them are big names. They could lead big things for their dunya as they were doing, but they decided, they made a decision to choose a lifestyle and sacrifice themselves for the sake of Sayyid al-Shuhada, for the sake of Allah. That's why they never will be forgotten. Everyone would remember Shuhada of Karbala. Always. We don't know, do you know the Shuhada of Badr, Hunayn, Muslim? Shuhada of Khaybar, do you know any of them? Have you heard any of their names? Shuhada of Karbala. When do you say, we wish we were in Khandaq and Khaybar in the path of Sayyid Rasulullah, be killed for the sake of Islam? We never say that. But in Ziyad al-Warisa, what do we say? We wish, Ya laytana kunna ma'ak fanafuz fawzan azim. We wish we were with Shuhada of Karbala so we could bestow ourselves for the sake of Allah. The culture and farhang of Husayni in front of the culture of Umawi. Yes, on the other side is the culture of Umawi. All the shar that you can imagine is right there in that culture, in that camp of Yazid. When at the time of Osman, they got the power. Osman was Osmani, of course, it was from Bani Umayyah, right? They got the power. Abu Sufyan came and says, oh, the sons of Bani Umayyah, get the power now. Now the power, the ball is in our hand. Pass it to each other now. Look what his vision towards the Islam is. Pass it to each other. There's no Jannah, there's no Nar, there's nothing. It's just all jokes. This is that culture of his grandfather that he's bringing. And he said it in poetry, Yazid himself, there was a poem. He said, La'ibat Hashim wa bimulfana. Hashim, Rasulullah, he played with the power, with the government. There's no Jannah, there's no Nar, nothing. This is the Yazid. This is the mentality that he has, right? And we see today, the Wahhabis are following this guy. I'm saying, astaghfirullah, don't say Yazid is a bad person. Don't say Muawiyah did this. What world are you living in? Even if you want to go to the doctor, you look at the history of the doctor to see what the doctor did, then you go to the doctor. If you want to choose a school, if you want to choose a business, you look at the history of that, then you choose to go there. You don't look what they did. You don't look at the 23 years they wanted to kill Rasulullah because they couldn't, they had to convert to Islam. Yeah, so apparently they did, but you don't get that? And you put your organization by the name of Yazid ibn Muawiyah Raziyullah an, you should be very, very naive. You see that mentality where it's coming from, right? Which is still running throughout time. But how this cunning people, Bani Umayyah, could roll over people 30 years after the demise of Rasulullah. One big, and the last virus that wasn't that last night I'll mention is that they destroyed the identity of Muslims. They destroyed the izzah and honor and confidence of Muslims at a time. That's what Bani Umayyah did. They treated them like animals. So Muslims were confused with their identity. They knew they're Muslim, but they didn't know the izzah and honor of that. They didn't know how valuable it is. They didn't know how important it is. They didn't know what does it mean to be among the followers of Amir al-Mu'mineen. Kufi, they were apparently following Imam Ali, right? They didn't know, they were confused. What does it mean to be a follower of Amir? I don't want to call Shia, they were not Shia. Shia is a very big name, big term. They were followers, but they didn't know what does it mean to be the followers of Amir al-Mu'mineen. While I'm talking about that time, you're thinking about which time? This time, right? So it's all related to each other. They knew Imam Ali is very good, blah, 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 but they were confused in their hoviyah, in their identity. They didn't know the value of that. They were lost. If this ruler comes and says you have to do this, we'll do it. If that person comes in, there was no izzah and honor. There was no self-esteem in being a Muslim, to stand up for your belief system, because they were confused. They were living in a society, see how similar it is to our society. They were living in the society that they wanted to keep their Islamic identity. At the same time outside it looks good too. Social media looks good too. What they're inviting me to looks good too. When I go to work, to school, to so and so, it looks good too. So their izzah was affected by that. قُلُوبُهُمْ مَعَكْ فَرَزْدَقْ قُلُوبُهُمْ مَعَكْ. Their hearts are with you, Ya Hussein. سُيُوفُهُمْ عَلَيْكَ. Their swords are against you. How hypocritical. How weak. In their hearts, they love you, they are with you. But their swords are against you. You see how weak this iman is for them? And when you get lost, when you lose your identity, you lose your values. When you lose your values, you don't know what you're doing. You go everywhere. Your ideology is affected. And everyone, anything can convince you to do anything. That is the biggest problem of the Kufis. And Bani Umayyah enforced that more and more. Zubayris did the same thing as well. Mus'ab did the same thing as well. Killed 6,000 of the soldiers of Mukhtar. 6,000 beheaded one day. Those soldiers of Mukhtar who surrendered themselves to Zubayr, to Mus'ab. 6,000 one day. That Abdullah ibn Umar told him that 6,000, if they were animal ships, if they were ships, they would strafe 6,000 animals the same day. 6,000 insan men that were beheaded one day. You see how they were treating them? When you are not giving allegiance to Hussein, this is your destination. Your kiramat, your izzah, your honor will be treated like an animal. Worse than animal, right? But those hands were in the hand of Amir al-Mu'mineen, the bay'ah and allegiance. With Imam al-Hussein, look what happened to them. Even the enemies were, talking good about them. The culture of Umayyadah tells you that regardless of your intention, come with us. In the army of Yazid, different people with different groups with different intentions. First group, barbaric, Khuli and Shamr, those types, right? Bloodthirsty people, they love to just go for the sake of humiliating the haqq. This is one group. Second group, those group who came for dunya, money, wealth. Umar Sa'ad lives into this. He knows he's wrong for the sake of Ray. I'm afraid of they're going to take my house in Kufa and I will be the governor of Ray. And by the way, Ray was in Iran, it was a big territory. Don't think it was a small thing. It's very tempting, very tempting. At that time, few locations were very strategic. Egypt, Ray, Iran. Egypt, Muawiyah, Amir al-Mu'minin, who? Malik Ashtar. Who killed him in the path? Amr al-As. Muawiyah said, this is yours. This is your arus. Go get it. So he killed him. Egypt was very important. It was always Egypt was strategic. And Ray as well, Iran, Persia at that time, right? The second group is for dunya. The third group, ignorant, who came for the sake of Allah. Khalifa to Rasulullah, Yazid ibn Muawiyah, he told us, Hussein is against Yazid, so we have to go help Yazid. Ignorant, not understand which side they're standing in the history. They're ignorant people. But batil and wrong side that tells you to come whatever reason. You come for dunya, that's okay. You come for your personal reason, that's okay. That's okay. You come for whatever, that's fine. But the side of haqq, what does it tell you? You come for one intention, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't do anything else. You come and you should come and you should spend your time and your energy for the sake of Allah, and there's no other way. The example that Imam Hussein gives, أَلَا تَرَوْنَ أَنَّ الْحَقْ لَا يُؤْمَلُ بِهِ وَأَنَّ الْبَاطِلَ لَا يُتَنَاهَى عَنْهُ. Don't you see they're not acting upon, haqq? Don't you see they're not getting away from batil? What else do you want? For Imam al-Hussein, when his brother Muhammad Hanafiya told him, Hussein, you know this Kufi in Mecca. You know this Kufi. Why you're going, This is, they're going to do whatever they did to our father and our brother Hassan. What do you think Imam Hussein answered? Did he give a lot of philosophical answer? He gave one answer. He said, Rasulullah told me, Inna Allah sha'a an yaraka qatila. Allah wants to see me being killed. He knows all the philosophy better than anybody else. He talked throughout the time, right? But for him is one thing. He wants it, I want it. Khalas. Why are you taking your family? Inna Allah sha'a yarahunna sabaya. He wants to see them being asir and captured. Khalas. There's no other excuses. Yes, we can sit down until end of the world. Hussein can tell you the reason and the philosophy and hikmah. That's where all these speakers throughout the time, khutaba and manbar, they're talking about the philosophy of Ashura, right? But for Hussein, ultimately is what he wants. Khalas is good for me. Should I give my 6-month-old baby? That's fine, I'll give it. Ali Akbar, pain. Just see how difficult it is. But he wants it, I want it, that's it. And look at this culture. Look at this in the middle of the Ashura. He's one person in front of 30,000 people. Show some sign of regret. Please help me. Please don't do that. Please, some sort of things. When people get surrendered, they try to ask for forgiveness or somehow save their life. He says, Ala wa inna da'i ibn da'i. Look at this person, Ibn Ziyad, that no one knows who is his father. His name was Ibn Marjana. Arab calls the person based on who? Their father's name. Ibn, father. Hussein ibn Ali. Hassan ibn Ali. Ibn Marjana. They call him by his mother's name because no one knows who is his father. Right? This guy is telling me either I have to accept to take the zillah of this dunya or he's going to kill me. وَحَيْهَاتْ مِنَّ الزِّلَّةِ. What did he say? Let's say it together. وَحَيْهَاتْ مِنَّ الزِّلَّةِ. No. Far away from us to accept the humiliation in this path, right? The culture of Umayyad, they want you to have the mix of haqq and batil. The mix of religiosity and not religion. Don't be too religious. Just mix it with each other, a little bit of here and there. Makhlut. Mix it, that's fine. Don't be too much. Muawiyah would lead namaz, jama'at, Allahu Akbar. How about that? But don't ask for other things too. Isn't it familiar with the world that we're living in now? You can do whatever you want to do. Go to your masjid, but outside, have your fun too. What was their problem with Amir al-Mu'mineen? Malik Ashtar said, you're the haqq, you're the justice, the absolute pure justice. They don't want it. They want to mix it. As I always say, they want to pray behind you, Jama'ah, but go with the lunch of Muawiyah. That's better, right? That's greasier. What was your lunch? Dry bread? Not going to do that. Not that Amir al-Mu'minin was asking to eat that. You get my point, right? But even Talha and Zubair, best of companion of Rasulullah. Zubair, he is the one. When in Jamal Rasulullah, they assassinated him. Amir al-Mu'minin, he got his sword. He said, you don't know how many sorrow and gham this sword took away from the heart of Rasulullah. Allahu Akbar. Where can we claim that? We can say we did something that we took sorrow and gham and huzn from the heart of Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt. We never. But what happened? Khasara dunya wal akhirah. He's gone. Why? Because dunya. Because his iman is not rooted. So it's mixed together. That's what Bani Umayyah wants. Selective religiosity. This part is okay, I can do. That part is so difficult. We're living in the United States, don't make it difficult, right? As long as we are, no, we don't have as long as. Islam has, it's like you go to work, it says, as long as I'm coming to work, you should appreciate me. Don't ask me to come at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. As long as I'm coming. As long as I'm coming to school and maybe I take the test, you should be happy. It was like, go out. You got to come and you have to abide with the rules as well. Isn't it? You want to drive? You drive 100% following the rules. It's not that some of them not. No one accepted in this world. How come when it comes to Islam, yeah, some of this, some of that. No, it doesn't work this way. It's not a complete. There's a interesting old example in Farsi. They said, the guy who went for tattoo to get a tattoo of a lion on his back. Before tattoo was very painful because they had a big needle, they had to do it. So the guy, artist, he said, okay, what kind of lion? This is a big lion I want. Okay. He started working. He said, ouch, don't do that anymore. He says, why? He says, what part of the lion is that? He says, the head. He says, forget about the head. Go to the toe, to the tail. He started doing the tail. He says, ouch, it's hurting so much. What part of it is this? The tail. He says, forget about it. Go to the stomach. The guy says, what kind of lion is this? It doesn't have a head. It doesn't have a toe. It doesn't have a stomach. The Islam of some people is like this. It doesn't have a head. Doesn't have nothing. It's just some mix. It's their own religion. I pray whenever I want. I fast, however, if it's not too hot. Right? From Imam Hussein's story, whichever I like, just beat my chest. Then I can send rumors and lie and destroy and backbiting under the name of flag of Sayyid al-Shuhada in Islam. Wrap it up. Go away. Because those people who are doing, you're the shame for the Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt. Huh? They don't want such people. That's why Imam al-Hussein at night of Ashura says, leave, go. He just wanted to make sure there's no impure among the pure ones. At the day of Ashura, he says, anyone who wants to come help me, is a contradiction. At night he says, leave me, somebody needs to come and help me. Because he wants to make sure there's no pure among the impures left. Such as Hur and others who came to support Imam Hussein, right? Imam not coming for war, he's coming for hidayah, for guidance. Otherwise, in a war, you don't give lectures. You don't know how many times Imam Hussein gave lectures in Ashura. To show I'm not here for war, I'm here for guidance. You guys invited me to come. What's wrong with you? I want to come. You invited me to come. So that's where I have to think and understand, Imam Hussein said, Man kana badilan muhjata. Whoever is ready 100% to bestow life and everything for Islam for me, then come with me. Many people left. It was not 100 people left from Medina to Mecca. Oh, maybe a lot. But the closer they were getting to Kufa, to Karbala, the less people were there with Imam Hussein. Because everybody's leaving. Same what happened with Muslim ibn Aqil, right? When they were realizing, oh, so it's not, okay. We thought we can be with Hussein, at least we can have some power, some money, something. When they're realizing what's going on in Kufa, they were leaving Sayyid al-Shuhada. Even those who came with Sayyid Shuhada, even those who knew Imam al-Hussein, they left him in the path, in the trip towards Kufa. That's the scariest, at the same time, the most brilliant story of human beings, Karbala, the scariest at the same time too. The son of Umar ibn Sa'd, at the day of Ashura, look, everything comes within the family. When family is healthy, things become healthier. When Imam Hussein wanted to pray Zuhr of Ashura, they asked Umar Sa'd. Umar Sa'd said, yes, of course, you know, he's Muslim, he should pray. Hussein is Muslim. His son came, he's not that old. He said, Baba, you want Hussein to pray? In front of 30,000 Kufi, if they saw that he's praying, they're not going to fight with him. We're saying that he's Khariji, he's away from Islam and Deen. Don't let him pray. And Umar says, Ahsan, that's a very good idea, mashallah. This is the culture of Umayya's mentality. Look at the other side, the culture of Husseini. Imam Hussein is on the way on his horse, you know, walking and riding his horse step by step towards Kufa. He fell asleep, took a nap a little bit. He woke up. He says, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Next to him was the horse of Ali Akbar. He says, Baba, what happened? Why did you recite Ayat Istirja? He said, I had a dream for a second that we're passing, and the angel of death is coming and says, this caravan is going, and the angel of death is following them. So Ali Akbar, he's a young man, he has a brilliant future. He can be the next Khalifa. You know, before, at the time of Muawiyah, when he said, you know, among everyone, all of us, and Bani Hashim, who deserved to be the Khalifa? Khalifa to Rasulullah. He says, who? He says, Ali ibn al-Hussein, Ali Akbar. أشبه الناس خلقا وخلقا ومنطقا برسول. He's the one who everything is resembled to Rasulullah. So he told Imam Hussein, why did you recite this? He said this. What do you think he said? He's a young guy. He says, oh, Baba, is there any way that we can run away? Is there any way that can, you know, what kind of politics we can put, what kind of things we can do, right? How can we find some strategy? He asked one question, أَوَلَسْنَا عَلَى الْحَقِّ? Are we on the right side? He knows, it's just confirming. أَوَلَسْنَا, aren't we? Aren't we on the right side? Aren't we on the side of haqq? Sayyid Shuhada, yes, sir. That's it, we are on the side. So that's good. Baba, that's enough. Sure. If we're on the right side, that's fine. We don't have to do anything else. No fear. When Ibrahim told him, I have to slaughter, what did he say? He says, Allah said that? He says, because Allah told you, Ya abatif al-ma tu'mar. Do whatever Allah told you to do that. Insha'Allah, Sajjad, inshallah min as-sabirin. You'll find me among the sabirin and patience one. That mission wasn't complete, but the mission of Hussein was completed. He sacrificed his son for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But look at that mentality, look at that culture that it says, you know, are we on the right side? Khalas, we should do it. We said that Qasim al-Hasan, 13 years old, 13-year-old. Death to me is sweeter than honey. Look at that culture for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So, that's how we have to understand that. Be careful not to lose the izzah of being followers of Ahlul Bayt. We should be very careful not to sell ourselves so cheap to shaitan. Because shaitan comes, first bring your values down, make you feel your values are down, then they ask you to sell yourself. If you have a product that is so valuable, but you don't know how much it's worth, it's so easy for someone with a little bit of the trick to take it away from you, right? Because you're not aware of the price of that. But once you know, you ask already how much it's worth it, whoever comes, sorry, I know the value of this, I'm not going to sell it that cheap, right? If I know my values, that's the problem. I'm not going to sell myself to haram and to gunah and sins, and I will lower my gaze so easily because I'm not going to sell myself so cheap. These eyes are so valuable. I'm going to see, inshallah, Imam of Asr with these eyes. I can see the ayat of Quran with this. I can do the best things. I'm not going to look at the haram, some pictures of some people naked or something that's so cheap that I bring myself so down like other people. This is not arrogance. This is the value that we understand our value that Allah bestowed us, right? With these ears that I can do the best, I can listen to majalis, I can listen to matam, I can listen to Quran. With these ears I listen to haram things. So pity. We have it in dunya. Imagine an employee of one of the most prestigious company, the teacher of one of the most prestigious universities. You ask them to go teach in a very low class, lower grade, school or company. What do they say? Me working there? Do you know where I worked? Do you know my resume? You want me to work over there? You're disrespecting me. You want me to look at these haram things? Do you know my resume? Who I am? I'm the followers of Ali and Hussein. Do you know my resume? My book is Quran. I'm following so and so. You want me to sell myself so cheap? No, I'm not going to do that. Even if a mistake happened, I'll come back and fix it quickly, right? Because I know my values. I'm not afraid of it. And alhamdulillah that we have this tawfiq and this opportunity to have this. What if sometimes, I tell my wife, look at some people around us that they don't have any of these things. They don't have Ramadan, they don't have Muharram, they don't have Safar, they don't have majalis. What kind of life is this? They don't go to the masjid, they don't go to these things. What? So go to work and come back and sleep and next day and go and come back and have some fun and go trip and that's it? What kind of life without tears for Hussein? What kind of life is this? Without beating our chest for Hussein, matam for Imam. Okay, worthless. There's no value in that life. All this ma'arif learning from Imam Hussein. Alhamdulillah that we know this maktab, we know this path. Alhamdulillah that we know Sayyid al-Shuhada. And we ask Allah for the sake of Ahlul Bayt, for the sake of Sayyid al-Shuhada, to give us the tawfiq to be able to follow what we're learning from them, inshallah. Change our life towards that direction. I mentioned the name of Ali Akbar. Allahu Akbar. It's one of the most difficult masa'ib of Karbala is the musibat of shahadat of Ali Akbar alayhi salatu wassalam. Imam al-Baqir said, the best joy for a father is to have a son and raise that son. That son becomes a young man. And that son walks in front of the father. The father has all the joy. Alhamdulillah, look at that. Look at this back that I have. Look at this back up. And Imam Sadiq said, the worst musibat for the father is to see that the same son is dying or dead or killed in front of that father. Ya Hussein, it was not only Ali Akbar, the entire wujud and everyone around you in front of your eyes. Everyone were coming from ashab and so and so. Rasulullah sometimes, he was doing ta'ammul. Maybe you shouldn't go so and so. But when Ali Akbar came to ask for permission, Izn Maidan, Imam al-Hussein so quickly gave him the Izn Maidan to go, permission to go fight. Maybe one, because it's his son, he doesn't want to in front of others say anything opposite. Second, maybe if you stay more, Hussein cannot tolerate that. Ali Jan, go. The son and father, they hugged each other. They cried and cried and cried. Hatta ghushi alayhim. Both of them passed out. Allahu Akbar. Ashbahun nas, the best. Everyone who missed Rasulullah were looking at the face of Ali Akbar. Everyone who missed the voice of Rasulullah listening to Ali Akbar. Everyone who wanted to see the khulq and akhlaq of Rasulullah were looking at Ali Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ali left the khayma of Rasulullah, khayma of Imam al-Hussein, and the heart of Hussein left with Ali Akbar as well. The daughter of Imam al-Hussein said, I could see when Ali Akbar left for the war, my father was so panicking, nervous. He was coming out, going in. He was not, feeling well. His son, his whole wujud and everything is in the Maidan and battlefield. Abbas ibn Ali on the other side, on his toes, watching to see what is happening. Abbas taught Ali Akbar how to fight in the war. Of course, he's the muallim of Ali Akbar. Now everyone's are so worried what is going to happen. After war and killing many of them, Ali came back to the Khayma of Zayd al-Jahada. Baba John, yes. Baba, Thiql al-Hadid. These armors are so heavy, Ya Hussein. Baba John, I'm so thirsty. Do you have any water, drop of water to give me? Hussein pulled out his tongue, showed it to his son. Ali John, look at my tongue. I'm thirstier than you, Ali. Inshallah, soon you will be, inshallah, satisfied with the hands of Rasulullah. Go back. It's so difficult for a father when he cannot satisfy the request of his son. Allahu Akbar. Ali lived after killing many of those mal'oons. All of a sudden he called, Ya Abata, oh father, come and help me, come and support me, come and save me, oh Baba. They said Hussein so quickly dropped himself. The army of enemies said Hussein dropped himself from the horse on the ground. The rest of the way to a body of Ali, he was on his knee, dragging himself to the body of Ali Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Ali. When Ali was on the ground, Hussein was crying. You know what is difficult? The army of Yazid were clapping for this musibah. Now that is the time that Hussein has to bring the body of Ali back to Qiyam. Allahu Akbar. They said whatever Imam al-Hussein tried to do that he couldn't. Any side of the body he was picking from the ground, the other part was on the ground. Is there. Zainab came to help Hussein. He put his abba on the ground. He called Javanan Bani Hashim. Oh, the youth of Bani Hashim, come and help Baba Hussein. I can't do that by myself. All of them together came to take the body of Ali. And maybe also, you know what, the Hussein cannot do that anymore. It's so difficult. He did all the shuhada of Karbala, he brought them back. He's thirsty the whole day. There is not enough energy there. Hussein John, when you were on the ground, who came to take your body back to Khayma? Instead the horses on your body trampled your body, Hussein, broken the bones of the body. Allahu Akbar. And Zainab is there to see. Ahsan to your majlis, to your ikhlas, inshallah. Ya Hussein, look at our majlis. It's by the name of you, Imam al-Zaman. We want to invite you to our majlis. Belong to your Jad Hussein. Accept it from us. Let's go to Bain al-Haramain, inshallah. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بغيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. When you say Ali ibn al-Hussein, see Ali Akbar when he says salam to Imam al-Hussein for the last time. All together, assalamu ala al-Hussein wa ala Hussein wa ala awlad al-Hussein وعلى حسين ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والنصر ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك بحق الرسول يا Allah hasten the ظهور of our Imam Mahdi. Ya Allah, us and our generation, let us be among the best of the followers of our Imam. Those who have hajat, give them all khair hajat. Those who are around the world oppressed, Gaza, Yemen, Lebanon, Iran, give them sabr, ajr and victory. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman Rahim, those who are not feeling well, Mariza Manzoor Saratani. Ya Allah, bihaq Imam Sajjad, cure them all at this moment. And those who passed away, send the thabab and reward from our gathering to their souls. Rahimallah man yaqra'u al-Fatihata ma'as salawat. إياك نعبد